What's going on, everybody? We are live. It is NBA Top Shot Pack Drop Day. Excited to break everything down for you. We've got NBA playoffs in full swing. We've got playoff hoops starting tonight. Going to be joined by a very special guest today. Let's hit a quick intro here, and then we will get right on into it. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Own the Moment podcast. I'm your host, TJ Lasig, and we've got a special playoff edition for the NBA today. Champions Path playoff packs are dropping today. For the first time, we are going to experience NBA Top Shot Redemptions, the new feature that they've been rolling out. Just want to get started. This show is brought to you in partnership with our friends over at NBA Top Shot. And joining me today, we've got a true hoop head, the guy that's always breaking down everything you need to know about the NBA, the founder of Boards to Buckets, the NBA guru, Mr. Dream Shake.
What's
Dream.
going on, my friend? Excited to be here. I mean, playoffs have started this weekend. Now, we're going to get to that take about people that say, oh, this should have been dropped on Saturdays. People should have, just dumped their weekends and Top Shot should have had everybody. No, going to get to that point. The playoffs were amazing this weekend. We got a lot to talk about and digest. Today's pack drop day, right? And I know we're all going to be very supply driven, right? You got a million people for that. I'm here to tell you about why the demand today is why you want to go and buy these like pack drops. And I don't really have to go and convince you about that. If you watch any NBA action this weekend, you know, right? We got the jersey in here. So it tells a story, I think.
There we go. Yes, NBA playoffs in full swing. We got the first weekend of games under our belt. Some interesting stuff already to break down in terms of what we saw that first weekend. You got your Kings. My Sixers off to a good start against the Brooklyn Nets, tipping it off again this evening at 7:30. And yeah, we are right now 25 minutes away from NBA Top Shot playoff packs dropping. Going to experience redemptions for the first time, which I think is a fun new concept that Top Shot is piloting here. And I think, perfect little setting for the playoffs, gives us something a little different, a little bit unique. And I think we're going to, zooming out, high level agenda here. We're going to break down everything you need to know about the pack drop. Again, you guys can go ahead, get on in the queue right now over at NBATopShot.com. Packs dropping in 25 minutes. We're going to recap the first weekend of the NBA playoffs, as well as just kind of give our predictions on what we think might happen next. And also tying that to how can you approach redemptions from a strategic standpoint based on what you think is going to happen in the NBA, because I think that gives us a cool opportunity there where you can kind of, based on what you think is going to happen, plan your Top Shot strategy accordingly. We're going to talk some playoff hoops where we've got the first contest locking this evening, our new weekly format that's going to last for 6 weeks over the course of the playoffs. And we're going to have a little giveaway action for all of you as well. Wouldn't it be a pack drop stream without a little bit of giveaways? Dream, how does that agenda sound to you, my friend?
Sounds amazing, man. I can't get right inside, because the thing that I like most about this particular pack drop is it lines up completely with the NBA action, right? Sometimes during the regular season, it's like, oh, we got a Brandon Ingram moment. And so now I got to spend more money to go and buy this challenge moment from a regular season moment this season. But why wouldn't I spend that same amount of money to go buy his Top Shot debut instead? I'm using one random example, but that's sort of the calculus that I make as a basketball fan sometimes is, okay, there's a challenge to go chase, but what, is happening elsewhere in the marketplace that's being ignored. And so I think here it's going to be everybody funneled in for the first time into new supply because it's the playoffs. It's exciting. And it's really going to be driven specifically. I know that the supply of the moments themselves are going to be what people focus on. What I'm focused on is the fact that there will be, I believe, one moment per playoff round per team. And so that becomes very unique because already we've seen game ones happen that could have their own Top Shot moments, many of them inside, right? But we're at a weird place in Top Shot where we can't go and print, more moments. So we really got to be choosy and careful in terms of what we predict will be the moment that people are chasing. So for me, I'm more about the demand and chasing the demand than I am about acknowledging the supply that sort of gets trickled over. That's what, people who like to look at 4,000 and treat 4,000 as all the same, very different when it's a 5,000 count in the playoffs. When demand skyrockets, guys, it's basic, economics, AP statistics that I took in high school. It's demand curve goes up and supply is things happen. So yeah,
Without a doubt.
got
Without a doubt. Yeah. So what we have going on today, we have 2 packs that are going to be available for sale. We have the Dropping Dimes packs. These are going to cost $10. And in those packs, you will have 1 redemption and then 2 common regular season moments. And then we have the $29 3-pointer packs, which contain 3 redemptions and 7 common regular season moments. And so, what are redemptions is, of course, the first question I'm sure a lot of the people have already heard. But my kind of succinct definition would be that when you get one of these redemptions, essentially, instead of it being a specific moment from a player, you are just kind of pulling a TBD moment of a player, right? So
good one.
each team in the NBA playoffs will have 3 players that have redemptions. So the 2 essentially star players, collecting and connecting, nice. The 2 essentially star players on each team will have their redemption. So for example, for the Sixers, you've got Joel Embiid and James Harden. And then each team will also have a third player that is a wild card. So kind of whoever emerges during the playoffs and maybe has a specific moment or big games that are impactful, Top Shot will leverage those wild card redemptions to turn them into the moment of a third player from those teams. And then how it will work from there is, say you have a Jason Tatum redemption. Each round of the playoffs, as the playoffs progress, Tatum will have a moment come out from that round in the playoffs. So after round 1, maybe in game 3, Tatum has an awesome dunk, right? And that is the moment that Top Shot chooses to be Jason Tatum's redemption for round 1. Now, what you can do is you can trade the Jason Tatum redemption that you have 1-to-1 for that round 1 Tatum moment. And then as the playoffs progress in round 2, 3, 4, Tatum will have the opportunity to have additional moments from each of those rounds. And then what you can do is, if you want to, you can burn the first round moment in exchange for the second round moment. Likewise, you could then burn the second round moment in exchange for the third round moment, and so on and so forth. And each of these redemptions for the player will be capped at a 5,000 supply. So what that means is that there will only be 5,000 total Jason Tatum moments split among all the different rounds that he could end up being in. So yeah, I think it's a pretty cool, unique spin on it. Where you talked about supply, we have a capped supply from the start, and these are going to be the only playoff moments that are available. The only playoff moments that gets minted outside of I believe, a potential NBA Finals legendary set. But in terms of like common moments, this is what we're looking at. And yeah, it creates some, I think, interesting marketplace dynamics, some interesting strategic elements where if you think the Celtics are going to make it to the championship, you might want to stock up on those Jason Tatum redemption moments and, get enough redemptions that you can have the round 1, 2, 3, 4 moments from a player like Tatum. But yeah, I think that's kind of my high level summary. Essentially, you are in these packs picking up a player that you can then eventually trade in to redeem the moment that you want. I think one also cool element here is, like we've been saying for a while, we need people getting moments that they actually want to own.
Yes.
So I think that this really unlocks that, where you can, if you want to trade it in for the moment that comes out, great, you can do that. If you're not a big fan of the moment that comes out, also great. You don't have to trade it in to get that moment. So I think that's a fun dynamic here. And yeah, overall, I think the community response has been positive to these redemptions. And what are you hearing on your end, Dream? How's the Boards to Bucket community feeling about redemption?
Well, we're feeling pretty good about it. And so that's why, we obviously watch, we're really playback, oriented. So that means for those who don't watch playback. I'll go and drop our channel inside here. If we're going to be, if NBA is on, then it'll be on our network on B2B. So every game we are on and we are watching the games play by play. Got my TSK jersey on. Also, we have TSK within our fold, LA Showtime, The Hive, although they are not here for the playoffs. Wemby might go over there, and so we'll see if that ends up being. Either way, it's going to be just, us basically watching the games live in real time and being able to sort of take a step back and say, oh, okay, what could that wild card moment exactly be? Because I think you hit on a million, just great points. Succinctly, one thing that I would stress is that don't always focus on the players specifically involved. So when you look at a play, at any Top Shot play, there's usually some kind of person that's there in terms of the moment, right? So let me take you back to the LA Lakers in their play-in game where LeBron James to get into OT. That could be a definable moment if that were to represent the entire series of a playoff game where he goes and like a train goes inside, whips the ball around to Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder hits the three-pointer from the corner. Top Shot may make a calculus there to call it a Dennis Schroeder three-pointer moment. In terms of the actual reward right there. So I think that's something that, people will have to be mindful about is that it's going to be about the moment itself, what the play type is. And so it could be that it's the third best player, but sometimes the best play of the series may not involve the third best player. So there's an interesting wrinkle there. I think in terms of all the sharps from OTM, and I mean, this is why I love working together with OTM is because we got a lot of sharps. I've seen a lot of you guys with the Jolly Jokers coming in and really just, having a nice imprint with our sort of basketball stance. We're sort of guys who just watch the game and sort of angle things here and there. But in terms of Vegas odds, I am totally fine with Top Shot dropping the pack today. I think it's strategic. It's smart. Let the people enjoy their weekends so that they're here on Monday morning ready to go on their actual work days. And guess what? The Vegas splits always it goes crazy. Games 2 and 3. And this year in particular, with all the sort of edges that can possibly be had in this really close playoff series. And I've identified probably this is the closest playoff race that we're going to have in about a decade plus. And if you really want to go back almost 2 decades, one can make the argument there too. But games 2 and 3, that's when you're going to really see this marketplace sort of split in a lot of ways. And we're going to run up and down sort of the different brackets. And I encourage you guys, find a bracket out there. And if you are willing to go get inside, stack players, really play the game here, have that bracket available to you, one that you're dedicated towards. At least if you're not watching the games with us on stream, you need to have that bracket, just a board, just to keep sort of a macro view on it. So that's my high level sort of perspective is keep in mind of that potential third play that could happen, right? The one that defines the series. We'll be on stream and we'll be promoting that. We'll be pushing Austin Kent. Hey, man, I think this is the good moment of the series, right? It'll be like a definable moment. I feel like that most fans that are watching the game will be able to plug in and say, that's the one. So it really will encourage people to watch the games in real time as they happen to react in the market. But also, if you're not somebody who's really watching the games like we are all the time, then keep that bracket in place, sort of study the way that the Vegas odds are moving, and then make a judgment call on whether it's moving in the right direction or not, like you would do in any other types of, scenarios like that. So that's sort of my high level, perspective. And so we can go bracket by bracket and I can show more examples in terms of how I would sort of anticipate and predict how some of these things are going to go. A lot of fork in the roads because we've already had a lot of upsets, right? So regression to the mean, that's going to be a very real thing too. It could definitely happen with certain series here. So we'll see whether some of these upsets that happen in the first game will end up being a regression to the mean or end up being the actual upset. And so that's going to be, interestingly enough, going to be happening today as we speak, since we've had a lot of upsets. My Heat mainly that did that against the Bucks.
Yeah, definitely a big one there with the Heat taking game 1 from the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis with going out of the game with an injury, certainly a big deal. Seems like he'll be fine, I think, for future games. Another resource that we really like to use here at Own the Moment is the 538 website. If people have not checked that out. So what this will do, it almost even simplifies Vegas odds even more cleanly. And it will just show you for each team what they have as their percentage of each team making it to the semis, the conference finals, the finals, and then the chance of winning the finals. So I think this is great directionally. If you're not super into the NBA, right, and you don't have your own personal opinion on who you think might win, this just helps kind of cleanly lay out, okay, who are the teams that are most likely to make it out of the East and the West. And then you layer on top of this the bracket format so that you can see where teams would potentially meet up with each other, who's going to play in round 2, round 3, etc. But as we can see here, we've got the Boston Celtics as the current favorites, which I think aligns with Vegas and a lot of kind of public opinion at this point, with a 25% chance of winning. But even just looking at this, I mean, we got Celtics at 25%, Nuggets at 18%, Sixers at 17%, and Bucks at 12%. Like, that is a lot of parity in the NBA here. And even below that, you got the Warriors and the Lakers. As we know, they've got they each have some players that have won some championships in the past and know what to do in the playoffs. So really pumped overall about the quality of play that we have here. But what's your kind of reaction to the odds here? Do you think that these are generally correct? Do you think that there's a team that maybe the odds aren't pointing towards, but you're really high on based on everything that you've watched? And how do you see these NBA playoffs playing out over the next couple of weeks and months?
Oh my God. I mean, I could walk up and down the list right now. We can go through brackets if that's more of like a targeted discussion. If I have to go and
Yeah.
pick out right now
Let me pull up a bracket as well.
I think a bracket to walk through would be pretty good because based on the fact that I've watched, it's obviously a very small sample size, but we watch games all throughout the year. So we've been on playback for about a whole year now. We didn't just start up about a month or two ago. We've been doing this, and watching these games religiously with a bunch of fans, crowdsourcing information. So I would like to think that at the very least, watching the games will have some kind of impact. My first initial knee-jerk reaction is that the playoffs have done some really interesting things that go beyond the pale of what has happened during the regular season with respect to certain teams. So we had a whole map of what the sort of regular season statistics would be in terms of these series. And then we've seen some teams go and gravitate towards the means, and then some teams sort of pull completely away, right? Rebounding disparities. And so I'll try to go into those as much as I can based on what I know, just basically up here in the noggin. But usually for these games, we usually have a much more succinct, roundup data discussion. And then as we get into the game, our sort of pre-game analysis will sort of weave in during the game, see how it's sort of deviated away. And we sort of do that game by game. So throughout the games, if you guys are interested in sort of secondary marketplace action with Top Shot in these moments, we will be actively hunting to see sort of the different schemes here and there to really incentivize a crowd who are watching these games, which is again why I love this model. It really will benefit the people who are actually watching the most because they will be able to recognize in the marketplace and during the live games when the deal, so to speak, would be. So we can walk through bracket by bracket if you want.
Here we go. Yeah, so we got the bracket pulled up on the screen here. I think we are going to post this to the podcast feed as well. So if you're on the podcast feed, we'll try to talk you through it too. We can also check it out on the YouTube channel to get the screen share. And we'll also just say before we dive into this, 10 minutes remaining in the queue. So packs dropping in 10 minutes. Again, you got the $10 option. You've got the $29 option. Actually, I think, is it just the $10 packs that are available now? I think that might be correct. I'm currently
I
in the
believe it's
dropping
just the
dimes
$10 packs. I don't think they're dropping the $30 ones yet.
Agreed. I think that is correct. So $10 packs going live in 10 minutes. Again, if you're interested in getting there, you might as well get in the queue, right?
Yeah.
Like worst case scenario, you get in the queue, you evaluate. If you decide you don't want to buy, great. But I do tend to agree with you. Didn't do any like super nitty gritty EV calculations or anything. I don't know that we even really can with redemptions because it's so brand new. But I tend to agree that with the supply that we're looking at here, that the demand is going to be there. And I think redemptions are just going to be fun throughout the playoffs. And I mean, for $10, it can't be that bad of a deal, right? So I think if you're into the NBA, you're into Top Shot, like you should for sure be getting in the queue here.
At this point, you definitely
packs.
are. Mm-hmm.
And
And I'm going to point out this. I'm going to point out one quick thing too, in terms of the actual just schematic of the way that redemptions work. First of all, I mean, it's a small little nitty gritty, right? We're all going to talk about, in terms of the strategy and the complications and all this with the NBA, but I got to give some credit out here for Top Shot, right? I don't even know if this is going to be good for me to go and say it, but I'm going to say it anyway, because you got a crowd that can absorb this kind of take. So first off, redemption, right? It's within the name itself. Top Shot sort of redeeming, the supply mechanism. It's inherent in the name itself. Like this is a campaign that's driven to redeem sort of the playoff experience with Top Shot. So I could be reading way too much into the words, but I see that. Second thing too, the static images. I'm not going to call out any companies who have gone and built a fantasy game based off of it, but holy crap. When you go and move static images to moments, I don't know. Just gonna go and throw that out there. But in any case, let's get in through these brackets. And
actually, one correction, as Rusty K said here. So both of the queues are actually open right now. So you can be in both queues. They both are locking in 8 minutes. So there's the 3-pointer queue for $29 and the dropping dimes for $10. I am currently in both of them. Hopefully, we'll get some packs and be able to rip one open on the show here.
No doubt. So let's get into this bracket over here. And Matt Roth, actually, I love this guy. I mean, we talk all the time on Twitter. I do want to say that on B2B, we are heavily focused and making sure we're giving away for our live shows, S1 moments, S1 Top Shot debuts. As we watch the game, we are giving these things away. So we have a lot of different games, live, predictions, Basically, we have like also like a prediction contest for guessing the next 3 plays. If you guess all 3 in a row, we give away S1s and S1 Top Shot debut moments, and playoff moments will also be funneled into this whole entire sphere too. So we really want to drive the marketplace towards these moments that we feel like are the most valuable. And so these S1 bubble moments and playoff moments, to me, should be driving the same sort of trend forward together. Hopefully Top Shot finds a way to link it, in some way, shape, or form. But in my opinion, the S1 moments, the bubble moments, are quintessentially collectibles. And so this is also driving that demand in that direction. Even if there exists no utility, you should want these anyway, because this playoffs will be popping. So let's get in here. First off and foremost, Nuggets and Timberwolves. It's without a doubt going to be probably the cleanest series sweep. And so the Nuggets, as you saw with the 538, predictions right there, they have gone almost near the top. For a team that's in the top 3 in the West, we have seen already Vegas go heavily against both the Memphis Grizzlies and the Sacramento Kings, even though they're top 3 teams. And respectively in the NBA, oh my God, when you want to talk about statistical outliers, they usually do not happen in the first round. Teams that are in the top part of the bracket generally win almost every single time. And so this year we've seen already that happen from a pre-game 1 basis. But now that the Nuggets have sort of, and you could tell as soon as Jalen McDaniels punched the wall and he was out, it was a wrap for the Timberwolves. So this is going to be a clean sweep, I think, maybe 5 games at most. And they're going to be heavily rested against a Suns and Clippers series that I think will go pretty long. So keep that in the back of your minds. That's the first one that I would go and point out, is that if you want to go heavy today, and this is all non-financial advice, Nuggets players, keep them in mind. And you got a couple over there. So you got Michael Porter Jr., you got Jamal Murray, and just also keep in mind too, for a little Bruce Brown in there. I know we love them in the Top Shot world, but that dude, he gets into important plays, whether it's defense, offense, whatever the case is. And don't ignore Top Shot's, as I said before, with the subtlety that they sort of added in with redemptions and with the static imagery, that they might go and throw out a Bruce Brown moment. So just keep that in the back of your mind, because he's an important player for the Nuggets from an advanced statistics standpoint. And I could see him hitting a corner 3 to go and bring them out at some point down the road in the playoff race. So general first take right there. Want me to keep going, or do we?
Yeah,
you got anything?
I think that's a good first take. I agree. The Nuggets really easy matchup here. Also agree with the Suns and Clippers being one that could potentially go 7 games. Was watching that game last night. 2 good teams there, back and forth. Sometimes you forget how good Kawhi Leonard is at basketball because he's not playing half the time. But man, playoff Kawhi definitely showed up last night, and big first win there. I mean, he's. I do feel like we kind of forget about him sometimes, but like when he's playing, I mean, he's a definitely top 10, if not a top 5 player in the league, can just kind of do it all. And definitely someone that you don't want to run up against in the playoffs. As I know, as a Sixers fan, back that Toronto Raptors shot that he made is one that I don't think I'll ever forget. But yeah, going to be a great series there. What are your thoughts on Suns Clippers? Who do you see taking that one down?
Oh my God, this is I think it's going to go to 7. So I'll call out a couple things first. First off, we had somebody on stream, I would say before, that was calling out Kawhi pretty hard in the first half of the series. I said, you're ridiculous. Like, you're out of your mind. And so, my take has been from the beginning of the season that Kawhi would eventually be back in his fold. And I have always said, as a top 2-way player of all time, he is right near the top. I'm going to put him above Scottie Pippen. Like, that is where I have him in my list. So to go in, I guess, throw some doubt into what he could do, he's already proven it. He's already proven in the past 2 months of the season. He's a top 5 player, objectively, from every standpoint possible. And if you were to argue who's the MVP of this first round, I mean, Kawhi off the box score, you can let alone go and say that. He's also guarding positions 1 through 5. This is going to be a series that's going to be really hot, and I don't know who to go with, honestly. The Suns, from every advanced metric, should have won game 1, right? Their attack at the rim with Kevin Durant, since he's been on, they were a team that settled in mid-range. As soon as Durant came on, boom, they're getting free throws. Just a lot of other things. Defensive rebounding, they gotten a bit better with Durant being on the floor. Their depth is going to be an issue with the Suns. And so that's something that I'm looking at towards going the end of the series, maybe being a problem. At the same time, they didn't experiment a whole lot with KD at the 5. That makes the Clippers' big lineup it could render them somewhat useless if that happens. Because as we saw during the trade deadline, they brought in Mason Plumlee, and they decided to just go double bigs all the time. There's always a big on the floor, Zubac, Plumlee, and they were going in the past with small ball 5s. They seem to kind of ditch that, at least for right now. So if I'm the Suns, I'm very worried about my backup 5. Can you depend on Jock Lawndale? I think Bismack Biyombo is still injured, if I'm not mistaken, or in the end, he's Bismack Biyombo. He's got basically two left hands, or I don't know, just he doesn't catch the ball very well. There's a huge NBA joke out there in case you're in those circles. That's going to be an issue for the Suns. Now, I will say, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, super efficient from mid range. I mean, we're talking historic levels. The next thing I would look at with the Clippers is Terrence Mann guarding CP3 and wearing him down. Because what you saw with the finals a couple of years ago between the between the Bucks and the Suns was that you had Drew Holiday basically picking him up, basically at his end of the court, right? It's just Drew Holiday at his peak defensive prowess, guarding CP3. By game 4, game 5, he was gassed. He couldn't do anything anymore. I expect the Clippers to employ that same thing. And let's see in the next rounds if they do happen to make it on, whether Paul George can sort of augment sort of already what they're doing. So already in game 1, saw a bit of Terrence Mann going with a few nice switches here. So I can go all day on this, obviously. This is going to be a tough series to go and predict. My advice for you is go light on the stacking, watch the games, make your determination. Some of these series you might be able to go and stack and ahead of time and say, okay, this is probably going to go this way. This is one where you can get really burned one way or the other. So good luck.
For sure. All right, we are approaching 2 minutes till the drop here. We're gonna get our first little giveaway going here. So if you drop a hashtag NBA Top Shot on in the chat, that will enter you into this giveaway wheel. Can just give away a little Nikola Jokic S2 moment here. We talked about the Nuggets and how we think that they're going to be making a deep playoff run here. We're going to be talking about the playoff hoops contest in just a little bit. I think Jokic is arguably one of the best players that you could have for a playoff hoops contest, if not the best, just given the combination of fantasy points that he scores, as well as the likelihood that the Denver Nuggets continue to go deep into the playoffs. So make sure you jam that hashtag NBA Top Shot into the chat. Get a little giveaway action going. And here we have it. Less than a minute and a half to go. The queues are open. I'm curious to see what these numbers look like in terms of how many people are in the queue. So once we hit 1 o'clock here, everyone, let's find out who in chat has the highest queue number and try to get a sense for that demand here. As Dream's saying, Dream's guessing that the demand is going to be pretty high. I tend to agree. I think there's certainly going to be more demand than supply here. And in terms of how many packs people can buy, I believe it's
240,000, I believe.
Yeah, so 240,000 total packs.
Now, I think the demand, so don't get me wrong, I don't know if the demand's going to overtake the supply right now in terms of the actual pack drop
Not
itself.
with that many packs, yes.
Yeah, but sure. I do think that eventually over time, people who don't sort of have a strategy are going to be very surprised by how quickly the secondary market sort of turns itself out and then will generate to more pack demand. So there's going to be a sort of inside-outside funnel with this whole sort of thing. So that's why I would encourage to sort of pick a lane with different parts of the bracket, right? So I told you at first, Nuggets, probably going to go heavy on the Nuggets. Probably don't want any Timberwolves. Actually, today, you could probably buy the Timberwolves moments for probably a lot less than you would get them in the pack. That would be a loser moment in a pack drop, so to speak. So that's sort of what you're playing with in terms of that. Those are the dynamics you're going to have to sort of think about as you sort of crack open these packs and start to lock them up. And yeah, good luck to everybody who's here in the pack queue. And we at B2B will be giving away these packs. Hopefully they'll be on demand so I can go buy some more, but I am here for the content to go and guide you guys in as much as we can. So I'll focus on this first and then I'll worry about the supply after on our end.
Here we go. We are in line. We do not have our position in the queue just yet. Waiting for that number to pop up. Seeing if we've, it seems like everyone will get a pack that wants one, which is good. But, and yeah, like I think a super unique dynamic here is also the fact that these redemptions are going to be tradable in the marketplace, right? So
exactly,
especially throughout the first round of the playoffs, people like to overreact. So there's going to be a lot of overreactions with every single game, every single play that goes down, which just, again, makes it more fun. Is really just, for me, ups the engagement level of what we expect in the playoffs here overall.
I'll tell you what,
I am 2,500 in my line here. Sorry,
one of the funniest things that's going to happen during this whole time is that there's going to be someone, because I mean, this is no indictment on the Top Shot community. This is general NBA. There's a lot of casual fans who don't know who this third wildcard moment could be, but then there are going to be people who are pretty on top of it, and it may not be the guys that you think could be in that, third wildcard space, right? So let's talk about the Kings, for instance, right? For somebody who's not really paying attention to things, you might look at, as a third wildcard option, It could be, I don't know, Malik Monk. He had an amazing game, right? I also know too that Malik Monk, when he plays in home games, or I'm sorry, in wins, he has like 40% 3-point range. In losses, he has like 20%. He's a super streaky shooter. Kevin Herter too, right? So you could make your guesses there on who it could be. It could be Trey Lyles from game one, who had like 20 something points, right? So anybody who actually watched the game there and sort of saw that schematic, Davion Mitchell playing a ton more minutes. And I'm just going to get into that part of the bracket right now since I'm already talking about it. Davion Mitchell, he's a pit bull. And I think what they did intelligently with the Kings and Mike Brown by extension, because he's been amazing as a coach. I had a lot of things to say about Mike Brown before he became a Kings. Well, on the Warriors, before the Warriors, when he was just a Cavs guy, he learned so much on the Warriors, brought it to Team Nigeria. And oh my God, from a guy who could not put together a competent NBA offense around LeBron James, somehow has like one of the most historic NBA offenses of all time. So he does his work. He gets in there. He subs guys out when he needs to. So in the last game, what we saw is a lot less Keegan Murray. Very tough to have a rookie in these games. They were hunting him. He brings out Davion out of nowhere, and he's just a pit bull out there around the screens. Steph Curry, I mean, as much as Steph Curry can do, you can't get a switch on Davion. So Davion's like a brick wall right there in front of Steph every single time. And they're getting older too. So keep your eyes on the Kings versus Warriors. I don't know where I stack there. There's only one player I would definitely stack if I were thinking about in terms of redemption moments. And that would be my man, West Coast MVP, because I didn't watch the Clippers and Suns game, to be completely honest. Not from beginning to end. I watched like little pieces of it. But De'Aaron Fox, fourth quarter Fox, stack up those redemptions, because if you do believe in the Kings, then you're going to need, some of those, because you can use those redemption moments in order to be able to sort of plow your way through the rest of the whole champions path. So for me, De'Aaron Fox is someone who I definitely think is going to be hiked up a bit today in terms of this respective series. TSK is going to come out there putting their money down, and so keep your eyes on De'Aaron Fox. If you get that, good for you.
Yeah, I think this little quadrant of the bracket with the Kings and the Warriors, and then also the Grizzlies and the Lakers is one of the more interesting things that we're seeing. We got a shocked face here, Dream. What are we looking about?
According to what Math Roth said, we finally have an NBA tweet about NBA Top Shot.
Ooh.
Hold up.
Here we go.
Yo, fam. Get in here right now. I'm sorry. This is going to go and take away a little bit of the crowd, maybe to go and have to do something else. But yo, Alex Lemblock, Chewy, don't do this to me. We're not doing this on this stream. Next time. Oh my God. Yo, that's crazy. Yes, there it is.
There we have it. From the official NBA account with 43 million followers. The playoffs live forever on @NBA Top Shot, where you can own basketball history as it happens. We work together to create something new for the 2023 playoffs. Today's the day to take control and become GM of your dream team, with a link that directs to NBATopShot.com. So there we have it. Gonna hammer that with a like for sure. Get on in there, comment, but there we go. The official NBA account.
Shout out to Matt Roth, who called that out here. Thank you so much for being on top of that. Wow.
Beautiful call.
Let's go.
I'm gonna jump on over there and drop a little
oh yeah, no, I mean, me and you're both thinking the same thing too. Yeah, you got to drop a little thing about the show. I'll let you go and handle that then. I'm just gonna drop like a little comment underneath. Obviously there's going to be people in there throwing some savagery at NFTs and all this kind of stuff. Well, I depend on the Warriors who are watching here right now, and I don't mean the Golden State Warriors. I mean our digital collectible Warriors hopping in there and just hit them up with the Mona Lisas. Can the Mona Lisa be copied? Huh? All the typical NFT arguments, right? Don't even call them NFTs at this point. But they're all right there. And if you guys ever need the ammunition, it's kind of funny the way that you mobilize sort of political. You mobilize political sort of I guess movements and stuff like that, right? You can do the same thing too with countering this NFT stuff. So it's interesting that we haven't found like a very unified voice yet to fight this stuff. I got my own stuff in my arsenal, but for sure, like there are people that you can totally throw some shade on. You got a community that's going to go out there and roast people to drop a bunch of ratios on. We got a very powerful community. So the more that we can centralize our comms, and right here, we got the chance in this tweet itself. So go and show some love, drop some NBA GIF tweets, your favorite Top Shot moments. And feel free to tag us too at Boards and Buckets. Tag me at Dreamshaker if you know what my Twitter is, and I will go and hammer the likes, hammer the retweets. I don't care about ratios. I don't care about my feed. We're just there to go and support
Bring it
this.
on in. Go ahead, hit that. I dropped this link to the stream
Let's
as
go.
well right in the comments there. Hit
Like
that
that
one
in.
with a like so that gets a little traction. Maybe we get some new folks in here joining us so that we can break down everything they need to know about the drop. But there we go.
And actually, TJ,
Everyone.
can I add a little something to that too? So we're actually doing a little bit of something different. We're dropping our wait a second. Oops, wrong tweet that I dropped in there. I'm gonna go delete that real quick. So we are actually doing a growth promotion for playback and also for NBA Top Shot. So we got a leaderboard. We're giving away 2 MGLE packs, one from the S3 MGLE packs, and then an MGLE S4 pack. And so basically how that's going to work is that we have a leaderboard of people that if they attend our playback streams, we're giving them a certain allotment of points, right? 2 points, I believe. If you attend all streams, it's 3 points. If you bring somebody new to the playback streams in our playback room, that's 10 points. If you bring someone new to Top Shot, that's 20 points. And every person who's come into our streams that's new on Top Shot, and we've had several of them, we shower the gifts because we have so much stuff in our accounts. Why not, right? Show them what this community is about. Show them all the love. So when you folks come on, it's a great onboarding experience, and it's hard to be scalable at that level, but I believe in the ripple effect of you give one person a very positive experience and that can extend to a whole network from there. So yes, if you guys have anybody that you've ever been like wanting to talk to about Top Shot and basketball and whatever the case is, hopefully you can swing by our playback rooms, and I am more than happy to focus all the attention on these people and sort of lead the corral back, because I think this right here for playoffs, it can happen because these moments are going to be incredible. And there will only be a few of them. So let's get it.
Absolutely. Yeah, everyone, make sure you guys go check out the Boards to Bucket playback group. Join a member there. We also have an OTM playback group that you can become a member of. And wow, I have not said it yet. Like the stream here, we've got 70 people watching us live. We've got 24 likes on the stream. Hammer that like button. Make sure you subscribe
that like button
to the channel as well. Got tons
Could
of
we do
content.
a giveaway based on the people who like the stream? Because we got, right now, I'll give away Malik Monk a Top Shot debut moment.
Yeah.
For anybody who goes and likes the chat. If you have a way to sort of aggregate that, then cool.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So if anybody likes it, we just jumped up 7. Okay.
Boom, boom. Yeah, hit that like button. We got a Malik Monk giveaway coming here from Dream. We've got the other giveaway that we already have in process. Maybe what we can do is we'll spin this one first, and then we'll get another one going. So final call for hashtag NBA Top Shot in the chat if you want to enter the giveaway for an S2 Nikola Jokic, which is largely playable in the playoff hoops contest, which we'll be talking about shortly.
Yes,
and then we will get another one going for the Malik Monk from Dream. Like the stream, subscribe to the OTM YouTube channel, join the Boards to Bucket playback group, join the Own the Moment playback group. Get in the mix on all the things, man. It's going to be an exciting playoff season, and I'm really pumped for the next couple of weeks here. I'm sure I'll be joining in, hanging, watching some basketball with you guys in playback. And are you doing that just about every night during the playoffs, or what does your kind of schedule look like here in terms of what people can expect?
Brother, it's been a really crazy weekend. So we actually have people that are going to be around every game of playoffs. So if it's not me, and I'm generally available most of the time, I told my wife, if everybody knows this from the B2B crew, happy wife, happy life. She knows ahead already that these 2 weeks are going to be sort of critical, and I need to be there all the time. So we will always have somebody that will be around to go and cover a game. We have TSK covering the Top Shot Kingdom, the Kings games. We have LA Showtime. We have a whole new thing with them, with the LA crowd. And so we have a lot of people that are going to be covering basically every single basketball game. And we've covered every one thus far throughout the playoffs. So if you guys think NBA on B2B is sort of our motto, we're giving away live giveaways on stream. For you guys that are going and dumping, I guess, I don't know, 20 trade tickets or 40 trade tickets, whatever that nonsense was before for these S1 locker packs, guess what? If you just go and guess stuff while we're watching NBA games together, we're giving away S1s like candy. Check the blockchain. It's all right there from the Boards of Buckets account. Yeah. And we even have a BAM S1 moment that I'm going to be giving away after the Malik Monk at some point down the road here today, because in the end, it's about the connection, right? Bubble S1 moments, NBA playoffs, and S4. We want to go and bring that together all in-house because those moments deserve to be loved and, by the whole community. So that's kind of our mission.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, final call here. Hashtag NBA Top Shot in the chat for the Nikola Jokic drawing. I'll go ahead and spin this one up, and then we'll get the next one going for the Malik Monk. We're on a slight delay, so I'm going to give it 5 more seconds. Absolute final call here. Still see some people coming in chat with their hashtag NBA Top Shot. Over 70 people in the stream too. Like the stream. If you've got some friends that are maybe hanging out, have them come join us here for the next hour or so. We're going to keep hanging out, talking some basketball, talking some hoops, ripping some redemption packs if we're fortunate enough to have the opportunity to do so, doing some more giveaways. And here we have it. Our first giveaway is going to be a Nikola Jokic S2, and the winner is going to be 69 entrants, by the way. How about that? How about that timing there?
Let's go, man.
It's a good sign. Poker Pro Eric.
Hey, I'm
just
saying
saw his name show up twice somehow. What's he got?
This OTM B2B connection is just
love it. Love it. Getty is the winner. Congratulations, Getty. Oh, there it is. See Getty right here.
Getty. I know Getty. So yeah, funny story. Let me just go and bring it out there. Getty, Chicago Bulls, faithful. Chicago Bulls. So I live here in Chicago, and I don't know why it's actually snowing today. It was literally 80 degrees a few days ago, and now it's snowing this morning. But fellow like hometown guy, we have met a bunch of times with all of the Pulse community, and there's Getty right now. So I've had the pleasure of not only being able to meet him, but his wife and us at the game. It is so cool to be able to extend sort of our fandom from here online into real life. So it's happened in a lot of material ways. I know people have a certain feeling about the Top Shot Captains community and sort of what it's the EV on it and all that kind of stuff. I think it's awesome that I know the person in real life that's winning this.
Very cool.
Very
cool.
There
we have it. Getty with the first giveaway win of the afternoon. Congratulations.
Yeah, and if you want me to just run through, we have what until about 45 minutes until you have to hop off.
Yeah, we've got another 45 minutes or so here. So do we want to spin up another giveaway here?
Sure, another giveaway, and for the crowd in here that wants to go and if you have any requests on particular brackets, we could be running short on time. If I obviously spill a ton when it comes to each bracket. So if there's any particular ones you want to hear a sort of take from, feel free to go and bring it up in the comments, and I'll focus on there first. So for anybody who's paying attention, that's what we like to do on our stream too, is if you're active in the crowd, you'll get rewarded. So
there we have it. All right, I'm going to go ahead, pull up this. Hold on. Okay. You're going to have to give another hashtag NBA Top Shot in here because I think I may have accidentally screwed something up. But hey, that people that are still in the chat are the ones eligible for this next one. Give us another hashtag NBA Top Shot in the chat here. Oh, look at this. Getty's a JJ holder as well. Appreciate
you would be very
Getty.
surprised at the amount of B2B and OTM as time has gone on. It's been really cool to see how that's grown. And so I guess real quick, as we get into this giveaway, it'd be nice to be able to talk a little bit about my experience as doing content creation with B2B and sort of how OTM has been. I mean, honestly, I have to give you guys your flowers. You guys have gone above and beyond being able to support us and support sort of our mission with what we want to do in terms of fandom. So I literally shot a DM over to, TJ over here the past weekend. We got a guy from Greece who loves OTM hoops, and he wanted to sort of build a microcosm of a community within B2B. And so I said, of course, we're going to offset some money over here to sort of create a funnel within, this game. I think it's really cool, especially for the DFS crowd that might not be into moment ranks play. Got to give some flavor out for everybody, right? And so we created this group chat, and then I don't know how, but within a day, we had 2 new games out in beta that are happening right now as we speak. So you can't enter them anymore. But yes, we are sort of experimenting with sort of how do we manipulate hoops for the NBA playoffs. And I'm just really excited, TJ. And I want to just thank you personally here on stream for allowing us as content creators to be able to partner up with somebody like you who has the resources to build a game in the way that we sort of imagine and can design. And so that extends out to the community too. So if you're out there in B2B, I know I'm kind of slow sometimes with getting back on Discord. We got a lot of stuff happening right now, but please tag me, give me your ideas. They will be pocketed somewhere, and that'll help us develop a really cool game together. And that's what I love about OTM Hoops, is that this really is a crowdsourced game for the NBA Top Shot hoops community, true hardcore fans that are really into the game. So thank you, TJ, and thank you for all those who have entered our contests. We got some cool ones, and I'd be more than happy to talk about how we've changed the game a little bit, but you guys, I think, have some iterative stuff in there as well. So there you are.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're what, maybe two months or so, maybe not even into the launch of hoops. So I've been experimenting with some different stuff. The Boards to Bucket community was the the perfect group to help us kind of pilot some new ideas. You guys had your big three tournament where it was just a 3-man roster. I know you guys did a tournament where it was you can only select players from Eastern Conference teams, can only select players from Western Conference teams. So really what we're looking towards as we, think ahead to next basketball season and beyond is the ability to create very customizable contests so that different communities, no matter how large or how small, can play the games that they want to play, right? And tweak with various things, give some unique spins on roster construction or scoring system, or who knows? There's endless possibilities that we can come up with here. And yeah, one of the things that we are piloting with the Jolly Jokers for the playoffs is a new weekly format of hoops. So
I like that.
whenever you can go to hoops.otmnft.com right now. Traditionally, the hoops game has been you submit a roster every night, you score points based on how the players perform that night, and then we have a leaderboard accordingly. What we are doing with this weekly format is that every single Monday, so starting tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, you will submit your roster, same roster as the typical hoops. So you get 8 players, 2 guards, 2 forwards, a center, and then 3 utilities. You can use one player as your rare or as your hero, which is either a rare or legendary. They get a 1.25x multiplier on how many points they score. And then how the weekly game works is that for each player that you roster, you will get points for whatever their best game is over the course of that week. So if Joel Embiid has 3 games in a week, he scores 45 one game, 65 another game, and 57 one, then you get 67 points for Joel Embiid for that week. And to me, this is something that I'm personally quite interested in for next regular season. I think there's plenty of super NBA gurus that want to be playing a contest every single night, but there are people that probably want a little bit of a more passive game, especially with just the craziness of NBA and the injuries and people sitting out and last minute news, especially towards the end of the season in hoops. We had all kinds of things where people were sitting out games and being injured. And so by having this weekly game, as long as somebody plays at least one game, you're not going to have your lineup be totally tanked. So I think it's a fun format. It's a simple format, and we're piloting that for the playoffs here. Have to own a Jolly Joker in order to enter. And then we have weekly prizes every single week. So the top 10 of each week finisher leaderboard will get a future OTM pick'em pack, which is a different game that we have. We'll have some new games coming up for that shortly. So it's kind of like an IOU for the next time.
Love it.
We have our pick'em pack game. And then on top of that, over the course of the 6 weeks, there's going to be a cumulative leaderboard where each user that enters, your weekly scores each get added to each other. And then the top 4 out of 6 will count towards this cumulative leaderboard. And then whoever is at the top at the end of that will be coming to Vegas with us this summer for NBA Summer League in July. So really looking forward to that. We've already had, I think, 4 users that have won their way to Vegas. We'll have another one winning their way with this hoops contest, another one winning it with our Jolly Joker series of poker. So there we have it. The Jolly Jokers own the moment. We'll be in Vegas this July for NBA Summer League. It's been on my bucket list, my boards to bucket list for 2 years now.
Love it.
Onto the Top Shot streets. And so there we have it. Playoff hoops. And I think I put the links down in YouTube as well. You can also look at all the contest rules, all the payouts, etc. But make sure you get those lineups in. I mean, if you own a Jolly Joker, no reason not to enter. No downside. Completely free once you hold the JJ. And I think it's gonna be a fun contest stream.
No, and this is what I love about you guys. Let's take a step back from a macro perspective, right? Oh my God, when you guys dropped the Jolly Jokers, it could not have been a worse time to go and drop them. You guys didn't just say, oh, you know what, we're gonna stop the mint, whatever it is. You guys plowed on through, and you had a community over here to go and back you up. Little by little, we all turned away at it. But you guys are also giving back actual utility with this whole experience within the game itself. I mean, this is when I imagine what Web3 could be, OTM is supplying that. So, I'm not over here to go and show any particular thing. I'm not making anything from like this endorsement. This is just for me as an actual objective, and I wouldn't say an outsider because we're working together on these games and all that kind of stuff, but that collaboration, that possibility is exactly why I went into this space in the first place as a builder, is so we could make these connections, right? If you guys want to focus on the gaming side of stuff, we can also say, hey, guess what, guys? For the playoffs, first 4-game slates, kind of tough, right? We're going to have like a lack of edges because we're going to have a lot of overlapping lineups once it all gets stripped down. That's why we did the Big Three contest. And so we're going to keep like redeveloping these things, I think, together. And we're really appreciative, to work with you guys on a lot of this stuff. And yes, Vegas is going to be a good time. So that's, I think, going to be a really cool way too to bring people that haven't ever met each other in the past, sort of like we experienced with Getty a second ago as he won this giveaway, all in first full circle together. That really does augment the Web3 sort of whole purpose perspective, in my opinion, as someone who's gone to a lot of these events.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, to me, first off, thank you for the kind words. Really appreciate it. And thank you for all the support that you've given to the Own the Moment and Jolly Jokers community. It was a long 4 to 5 month mint grind process, but through it, I think we really built a very, very solid community of people that hold a Jolly Joker because they want to, right? Like people weren't just buying into it because of some fake hype or because they thought that it was going to go to the moon. Like, no, they want the Jolly Joker. They like the community. They like the utility that comes along with it. And for me, the thing that really solidifies this next step is getting to meet some of these fellow Jolly Jokers in person.
Damn right.
So I just dropped a little link into the chat here. We have a Google Doc going. So yes, we're going to have some of these folks that win the $1,000 package to come out to Vegas, kind of cover some of your travel and room and board. But we want as many people as possible to be out there, to be hanging out with us, whether or not you win the trip. So we just have a little interest form here for people. So if anyone out there, if you're a Jolly Joker, whether or not you are going to make the trip, if you could fill it out, it's just helpful for us to kind of gauge interest, how many people we can expect to be out there. And I mean, it's not going to be it's not going to be anything insanely crazy, right? We're not going to be trying to host these massive mega parties, but like I just want to hang out with some cool people in Vegas, watch some NBA Summer League. The slam ball is returning in Vegas. I think we're going to go and try it and go out to see a slam ball game, which I think would be pretty cool. So yeah, if you're interested in joining the trip, or even if you're not able to make it, filling out that form would be helpful. And the response has been pretty good so far. So it seems like people are yearning to go to Vegas, and what better time than NBA Summer League? We also we're some poker players in the Jolly Joker community, so the World Series of Poker is going on at that same time. Really, just a fun time of year to be in Vegas. Other than the fact that it's in the middle of July and it's probably going to be 105 degrees, but that's okay. We'll be safe indoors, inside a basketball stadium, inside a casino, inside a poker room, wherever that may be.
And that is also where the pool parties are. The pool parties are like my thing. So, if I need to go, I don't know if it's going to be
look like you're dressed to go to, I mean, you could wear that to a pool party, right? Is, my man.
I wish I could be like, PPE over here, hanging out with Dyson Daniels in the hot tub, but we'll see what happens. I'll try to get out there for Vegas this summer, but I love the fact that you guys are doing this. This is a true inclusive experience with the community, and that's what I look for when I put anything into anything in Web3, really. So a lot of people like to promise a lot of stuff. Hey, we're gonna have merch. Guess what? Everybody has merch. Hey, we're gonna have I don't know, this and that. Like you've seen all the same stuff. This is different. So for those of you guys who have gone into Jolly Jokers and all those respective things, this is the calculus that you make. And also too, just to kind of extend back to the pack drop today and with NBA Top Shot, I believe in that sort of like built-in utility as well as they start to add things into the playoff experience, and I believe that they will. Hopefully there will be more tickets out there this time around. Maybe there aren't. Maybe it's going to be a true inclusive digital experience. I don't know yet. But if you don't have it over there, then that's what you got OTM for, right? They're bringing it to you in a way that Top Shot can. And for me, that is sort of where I see the power of third parties to step in here and say, hey, guess what? They need to spend their budget to sort of do things that we all need. And so lean on us to sort of create this utility experience around for you guys, because in the end, you guys are going to be the ones to tell us, hey, we don't want Vegas, or we do want Vegas. You got a lot of poker players. Guess what? We have a lot of people who like the beaches in Florida, and I got plenty of a pull over there. So maybe I want to do a B2B event over there in Florida. So there's just a way for us to decentralize a lot of these utility experiences. And so that's what I love about you guys. You guys have already been ahead of the game. And even when things were down, you guys were here. And I mean, that's why I love teaming up with you guys, because we never went away. We were always here for Top Shot. So
For sure.
yeah.
Been here, not going anywhere, always going to be here. And the community has only gotten stronger as a result of it. And
That's
like
it.
we said, looking forward to the playoffs, looking forward to summer Vegas, looking forward to next basketball season, looking forward to everything. And,
Right.
I think another one of the fun elements to me is like we all kind of arrived here through Top Shot, but everyone is, we're getting involved in some different stuff as well, right? We've got this poker community now where people in the Jolly Jokers, like the number of people that have DM'd me and been like, I haven't played poker in 10 years. And like, I'm loving just playing poker once a week now with these people. Like it just, getting people into some new hobbies. We recently had our partnership with DraftKings where we're doing some stuff with their Rainmakers PGA Tour
That
games.
is
So we've had
awesome,
some
by the
people
way.
getting into that. And, our goal is to just continue building a platform and community that has a variety of different things that people can tap into. And then, once you're in the ecosystem, find your niche, right? We might have some people that are into every single thing that we do, and that's great. There might be some people that are only interested in Top Shot. That's also fine. There might be some people that are, only into the dapper sports side of things. Top Shot all day, whatever else, great. But we're going to keep kind of expanding what we have to offer, listening to feedback from the community, and doing what we can to continue building this out. And look, I know that it hasn't been the prettiest market the past year or so, but I'm still super bullish on everything long term here. All the potential, just kind of like the general thesis behind it to me has never changed. And I am looking at this as a 5, 10, 15 plus year type of journey, not a 2 to 3 month type of journey. So that's what we're building. I'm not going to go Roham and say centuries because I don't plan on being around that long. But we're taking a multi-year, long-term view here, and I think that we've got a community of people that are thinking about things the same way, and it's been just a ton of fun. Met so many cool people, and can't wait to see a lot of you in person this July.
I mean, that's a big thing, man. We wouldn't be doing this today if it weren't for a lot of people exiting out of the community and sort of like, hey, B2B is still here. So, what do they got going on? And then that sort of starts a conversation. So the ones who are here today have sort of found a way to build this macro brotherhood. So whether you guys are like heavily, like, I guess, with us at B2B or not, we are sort of in the same nexus of this class of people that, given February and March 2021, which the data suggests that a lot of us did come in throughout that time, the ones who are still here, and that is a very unique data set too. So that will be a thing that someday we all sort of take a step back from and say, holy crap, what the hell is still going on over here that still is moving the vehicle over? And eventually I think that the NBA will recognize what that is, so to speak, right? So it all comes from the mini campaigns. It comes from, the DC Top Shot community. Holy crap. The other day they took a Kuzma clapback against Dinwiddie and turned that into a giveaway, right? That is the power of digital collectibles, is you can mobilize people towards a certain perspective, and that'll add some kind of value into those ecosystems in some way, shape, or form. So it really does start with today's pack drop. And so I guess we got about 30 minutes left before I got to let you go and do some PGA stuff. The grind is real, brother. I respect you for going and doing that right after this. But we can get into these playoffs right now, just so I can sort of give a general 30-minute recap on some of these brackets, or if we want to do anything else, let me know. The way that I think that I would maybe run the giveaway is that in the next 30 minutes, if you can pick up one particular thing that I say, and I'll make sure to maybe highlight it, then the people that go and sort of guess what that is, I'll give it about 20, 30 seconds, put you all on a list, and then we'll see who goes and randomizes from that scenario. So that's okay for me to go do that for the Bam Adebayo S1. And I think we also have a Malik Monk Top Shot debut that we're going to be giving away as well. This is what this last 30 minutes is going to be for, is like purely, hopefully, NBA talk. And we can give away this moment right now as we get ready for it, as I look at these playoff brackets and sort of think about what I'm going to say.
Absolutely. All right, so let's give away the Malik Monk now. with
Cool.
this one since we already had this running, and
Cool.
then we'll jump back into the bracket, give your thoughts there, run through the rest of it,
Very
and
quick.
then we'll have your final giveaway go. And then maybe at the very end, I just scooped up some of my packs so we can open up a
Let's
redemption pack
go.
as the
All right.
final thing. So I think
I
that's
got I
good.
got a nice time frame for me.
Perfect.
Got it.
Perfect. Hashtag NBA Top Shot in the chat for the Malik Monk here, courtesy of my man Dream. Make sure you get on in there. We'll give it another couple of seconds. Then we'll spin this one. We'll jump back into the NBA playoff bracket, break all of that down. Also, let's not forget to let's acknowledge a super smooth drop, right? Like, people want to complain about Top Shot and whatever else all of the time, but like, man, smooth process, smooth queue, everything went as expected. I feel like sometimes I just like to highlight those things because they're not
Have to.
easy, right? And I mean, you
You
see
know it.
other groups mess it up all the time. Like, it's super difficult to execute on. So shout out to the Top Shot team for a nice smooth drop here. Excited to see people ripping packs. But
Well,
let's go ahead here and pick a winner for the Malik Monk.
pick a winner in there, but I also got to give you guys your flowers. I see a little bit of, TOC in there. I also did TOC too, but we have to remember you guys converted basically to flow right after. That took a lot of cost and time effort. So I know that's where a little bit of this comes from. You sort of have to take a step back sometimes and say, okay, sometimes the process is more important than, sort of everything else around it. That was a very important thing for you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
to be in, just together with the Jolly Jokers and all that stuff with inflow, in my opinion. So that's what I have to go and say about that, just because, it should be acknowledged and said. But I don't feel any kind of slight, being a TOC myself. And I had fun with it, man. And that in
Oh,
the end,
yeah.
that's what I lean on as far as you guys are concerned with, your games. Always the best. March Madness
People
was
people love
awesome.
TOC. People love TOC. And I love TOC. I'm not
It,
going to
it,
say anything about TOC, but it's always on my radar to have it come back in some form one day or another. I think
I
one of the things I've learned over the past 2 years is 2 years goes by super fast. So yeah, I'm not closing the book on anything, but also not promising that anything's happening tomorrow. But it's I
it's in
mean,
his head.
TOC
You know
is
this.
I still think the greatest thing that we've probably ever done at Own the Moment. And the reason people ask about it is because they really liked it and it was a ton of
Exactly.
fun. And
Exactly.
yeah, it's good
But
good times.
you're a founder though. That's the thing. And so I kind of understand your perspective. Sometimes you got to go and just sort of for the whole process, take a step back. But yes, in your heart the same way that they do, and it's a value prop in the end. It is because it's still here to this day, right? If nobody cared about it, that would actually show a lot worse about it. So
For
in any
sure.
case, I just had to go and bring that out just because I think
Love
it's
it.
better to address it than anything. But I'm also a TOC holder too, so I don't have any qualms or anything like that. I had fun with the
Excellent.
game. I think it was awesome. I think there's a lot of roadmap for the future in that, and that's all I'm going to say about it. And I know you know that too. So
Sure
yeah,
do.
let's see what happens.
Here we go. Malik Monk drawing for a winner here. Good luck, everybody. And the winner is Blake. What's going on, Blake? Blake is definitely an OTM OG member. I believe still hangs out in the original Own the Moment Discord quite regularly, and I think is a Jolly Joker holder as well. If not, you should be, Blake, but I'm pretty sure you are. Congratulations. You win the
Congrats,
Malik
Blake.
Monk courtesy of our man Dream over here.
Yeah, and just go and shoot me a DM or I guess we have Blake Crack right here. I can check the recording later on. But yes, you can hit me up on any of the socials. Let's see.
There's
Probably
Blake still hanging in chat.
He's still hanging in chat. Let's see.
Holds 4 JJs too. Awesome,
He's got
man.
four Jolly Jokers. Yeah, so drop if you want your your top shot name, and then I'll go and send you that moment right now as we speak. But yeah, we can get into these brackets real quick, hammer them
Back
out.
into
We got
it.
about I think I can do it in about 10 minutes. I think we hit the hard
Perfect.
ones already. With the Suns, Clippers, Kings, Warriors, Nuggets, T Wolves. Yeah, Kings, Warriors. Last thing I'll say about that is it's going to be a hard fought series. If you do want to look at the angles here between the Kings and the Warriors, it's going to be Kevon Looney. That matchup in of itself with Draymond Green and sort of what your thought process is with Draymond Green being able to absolve the issues that we saw in game one against Kevon Looney, foul trouble, the one true stopper there for Sabonis. Sabonis isn't going to be the same Sabonis that he was in game one for the rest of the series. So he's coming back hard. And so just keep your mind in terms of the Warriors and where their sort of front court depth lies. And also Andrew Wiggins, who did not play a great game one, but he's just reintegrating himself back. So belief in Andrew Wiggins, belief in Kevon Looney, belief in Draymond Green, go Warriors. If you don't believe in all three of those things happening, think Kings, because at the end of the day, Warriors, bad away record. Already the Kings have done their service by winning game one. Let's see about game two, which will happen tonight on Top Shot Kingdom. Chewy, if you want, hopefully it's okay that he can go and post the TSK link inside the chat. But yeah, we'll be on live tonight on Top Shot Kingdom. We are working together like we are with you guys with Top Shot Kingdom all together on playback. And so if you want to light the beam with us tonight, go and hop on the stream. Next, we got Grizzlies versus Lakers, and I got about 13 minutes, and yeah, I can do this. Grizzlies versus Lakers. Sorry, guys, a very quick analysis. Grizzlies are probably done because of John Morant. It was already a very low probability effort with Steven Adams not being able to play this series. Basically, the analysis here is that Anthony Davis allows a lot of mismatches with the Grizzlies' current squad. So Anthony Davis, as a roamer, can affect every ball handler on that court. His switchability really just makes what the Lakers are doing against the Grizzlies just that much more potent. LeBron is going to be able to rest a ton throughout the series. I am very bullish on the Lakers making it past here in 5 or 6 games max. Yeah, and I said that before the season too, because they are playing at a very different sample size rate than they were before. Their All-Star game trades or All-Star season trades. Let's see. Does anybody else have? Game one was dream. Just making sure in the chat I'm not missing anybody else. Bucks and Heat. I did have a question in here in the chat earlier from Schuler about how the Tyler Hero injury is going to affect this particular series. Guys, just because the Heat won game one, and I'm a Heat fan to the core, but this is still going to be a very hard-fought series. It can go either way. So I say that as a Heat fan, that we won the game, but it was not comfortable. We let I would say a 90% Chris Middleton go and score 20 points in 20 minutes at one point and eventually scored even more than that. So that's going to be very tough, especially if Giannis does make it back. But let's see, because we do defend Giannis, one of the best in the entire league. The advanced stats suggest that. Last time that they were number one 2 seasons ago, when we took them out, or 3 seasons ago for the bubble, we took out a number 1 seed. So I think in some ways, schematically, we have something. I have yet to go and depend upon Kevin Love doing the same thing that he did last night. He's been horrific for 2 weeks, or actually the past 2 months of the season, been horrible, but he turned up last night. Great. And we'll get into the Cavaliers as to why that's a funny thing. And next, what I would say is Victor Oladipo has not played 1 minute yet in the playoffs. So look to see him maybe hedge a bit for Tyler Hero defensively, which I think is a plus for us. Duncan Robinson, going to see more of him. Let's see what that adds. But for the Bucks themselves, they have the best defense in the league, presumably with Brook Lopez, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Drew Holiday. So the 3 of them. I mean, if you want the team that could beat the Suns, if they were to go and make it on, besides the Clippers, these are 2 teams that match up really well against the Suns. That's your team. But let's see if they can make it past the Heat first, because we have some personnel to go and fight that. So not going to give any predictions. I'm just not sure that I'm stacking anything in this series. That's my point. Next one we got let's do about 5 minutes. Cavaliers-Knicks. Cavaliers-Knicks. Yeah, Knicks won game 1, and they did it without Julius Randle in large part, being involved in the game. I think that as the series goes and sort of, moves on, I'm going to still depend on the Cavaliers to win this one. 7-game series. I think this is going to be a tough one. The Knicks are really good this year. Mitchell Robinson, I got a lot of thoughts on him. Not going to get in there. The Cavaliers, he's great. He's phenomenal. If you don't have his, and this is not a financial, advice, but Mitchell Robinson's a really good player. I would own a lot of stock on Mitchell Robinson. Personally speaking, I think he does a lot of things in the advanced stats, deflecting shots, affecting shots at the rim, blocks. He can move so mobile, kind of like Time Lord from the Celtics, which we'll get to in just a second. And he can really go and chatter around screens. He is so good. So the Knicks, in a large part, in my opinion, are going to be pushing the series really far just because of Mitchell Robinson and Jalen Brunson, who is out of this world. Amazing. One of my favorite players this season. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm a Heat fan. I don't like the Knicks, but I'm loving Jalen Brunson and what he's done this year. One of my favorite players in the league, one of my favorite point guards. It's been phenomenal. 76ers Sun or Nets, call it probably in 5 or 6, the 76ers are my dark horse to go and make the finals, right? So this is a team that I think could actually make a run all the way to the end. And I said that before the season started. And here's the funny part. Yeah, TJ, you're pumping your fist in here, but we have a lot of 76ers fans in B2B, and they like to come in and throw some shade sometimes about this and that. I literally say, before the game starts, guys, the 76ers are my dark horse. I had like 3 or 4 comments inside there saying, we're no dark horse. We're no dark horse. But that is
Classic Philly fans.
this is why you can't have nice things. Just kidding. No, I do think that this year is going to be a very positive year for the 76ers. If James Harden can keep up doing what he did in the previous game, and oh my God, resting him at the end of the season has revitalized him in an incredible way. If you watch the games itself, his step back right now is the best that I've seen in like 2 years, right? There's some
great.
pop in there. He goes in kind of slow, and then he goes and jerks right back, right?
I was listening to some Philly talk radio stuff, which is always a treat. And like, I think they were talking about whether or not the James Harden trade was like a good one. And I was like, how, in what world could it not have been? Like, we literally got rid of Ben Simmons and got this guy. And they're like, well, he has to take us to the finals or else it wasn't worth it. I'm like, no. This trade was worth it. James Harden has been amazing for the Sixers. People just have such outrageous expectations of like, oh, only if we win a championship does it matter. Like, he has made this team since the first game that he stepped foot on the court a better team. Him and Embiid look great together. Now, do we start to have risks of if they get bounced in the second round again, worrying about Harden leaving or Embiid leaving? Like, sure, but enjoy it while we've got it. Great basketball team. They've been a ton of fun to watch, and hopefully they are able to get through the first round as we expect them to, and then they're gonna have a tough matchup with the Celtics, and that is what it is. But
we can get right there in just a second. We can get right there in just a second. So one thing I'm going to go and sort of cross over to the Western Conference is the lack of Jaden McDaniels for the Timberwolves against the Nuggets, and why I think the Nuggets are going to go and stomp on them. And we already saw it last night. It's pretty obvious. I think it's going to be like a 4 or 5 game series. Gobert also doesn't look very mobile. His back spasms, I think, are affecting him. I think that whole series is a wash. The 76ers also have Jalen McDaniels, PJ Tucker. Oh my God. Like he's just minted himself all season doing nothing. And all of a sudden he's very mobile again, hitting corner threes, very energetic. The ensemble of the entire team, Melton. It's there's a lot of firepower in the bench. And so that's where I'm with the Sixers, that as they go against probably, the Celtics, I think. So let me take one more step back, right? 76ers, I would probably stack in the first round, presumably, if you think that they can go and outlast the Celtics in the next round. And I think that they are built to go and maybe at least challenge the Celtics with respect to what they can do, right? So Time Lord for me, for the Celtics, is what differentiates them in terms of being an NBA, contender, right? We saw it in the last game against the Hawks. He is spry. He's basically playing as a free safety in the lane. He's blocking shots. I mean, he's looking the best that I've seen him in about 2 seasons. And this is also presumably too from a year that they were just in the finals, right? So he wasn't even completely healthy during this time. They got him healthy. Now, what can he do against Embiid? That's the main question, right? First of all, what you would have with the 76ers is you're not going to draw a switch. You're not going to want to draw a switch. Maybe the Celtics are going to want to draw a switch, but Embiid is just going to go to the block against them, I think. I think he's going to take him to the house. It's going to be tough. He's going to wear Time Lord down. This is not going to be a great matchup for the Celtics, I think, with respect to that, because with the same analysis with the Suns and the Clippers wearing down CP3, I'm not sure that Time Lord is exactly there yet to go and deal with a 7-game series with Embiid and then take it to the next round after and sort of continue that, whole thing on. And if you don't have Time Lord, then what do you got? You got Muscala, you got Cornette, and obviously you got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, right? But the bigs in that particular series are going to really matter. So that's where I sort of question, with the same thing with the Suns and Clippers, what you guys can do there. I could be completely wrong on how you defend Embiid, but I just think that Embiid is he's unstoppable. How do you stop him? There's no way to do it. You can't. So I think it's going to be really interesting next series, and the Celtics are going to go and completely beat the Hawks. Out of all these teams, and I know we just have a couple minutes over here, the teams that I have as a sure lock-in: Nuggets, Lakers, Celtics, 76ers. That is your glut of people to go and stack, okay? So Celtics in the first round at the very least, like go and do your thing and move it elsewhere in the post round series if you choose to go in that way. In that way, next would be Nuggets. Easy, right? If you get T-Wolves, everybody's going to be dumping T-Wolves, so it's going to be under. If you get T-Wolves in your redemption pack, go and toss that in the marketplace or hang on to it in the event that they can beat anyone. Grizzlies and Lakers. Lakers are going to, I think, move through in the next round pretty easily. And who that wild card can be, also an interesting discussion. Don't know that we'll get there. But Celtics for 76ers, that is going to be your fork in the road. So choose, you can stack both of those teams, presuming that they're going to win the series. And the Nets are very tough, right? But that's also why I think the 76ers may or may not have an edge in this particular series, because the Nets should not be a team that gets swept, and they might. They played really well last game, really, really well. But just, I mean, Harden with that step back, if that's a legit thing, and keep your eyes on that for game 2. If that step back is as clean as it's been looking, I can stack on that. That's what I think. So that's where I am.
Love it. Love it. There we have it, everyone. The NBA playoffs broken down by our man Dream Shake here. We might need to do this a little more often throughout the playoffs. Maybe get your updates as we see more of these teams play, as we see the matchups break down.
You got it anytime.
Just kind of, make this a little bit of a go-to place for everything you need to know about the NBA playoffs. How does it link up with Top Shot? How should you be thinking about your redemption strategy accordingly? I'd definitely be down for that. We'll talk about that after the show. But
sure, man.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and do your little giveaway here for the last one. I know you said you wanted to run it with something with people in chat where they have to read your mind or come up with some sort of answer or see if they're paying attention. Let's see what we got.
Here's what it's going to be. What are the teams that I said were automatic stacks? Automatic stacks. Right now, based on the bracket prediction, I hope that I could accentuate exactly what I meant in terms of the automatic locks in round 1. So I believe there were 4.
They were.
So if anybody can guess what those were.
Answers, I feel good about that. I was paying attention as the host. So
ooh, we're close.
Good job,
me. Waximus, you're close. You're close. You're missing one team. Ooh.
4 teams.
4 teams. There's 4 teams.
4 teams total.
Stan Love's got it. Lakers, Nuggets, Sixers, Celtics. Yep.
All right, Stan Loves. Congratulations.
Stan Loves. I know my friend, fellow Heat fan. So sorry I couldn't throw the Heat there as a lock. I would love to. But we cannot do that today. But a Bam Adebayo S1 as a Heat fan. I mean, this is cathartic. This is the chemistry here. He's a Heat fan and he's getting a Bam Adebayo S1, that bubble moment in here. So Stan Loves, I already know you. Tyler Durden Heat, I believe, is a Top Shot username unless you changed it for good. It's getting sent over to your account right now as we speak. So, and anybody else who I missed before, please let me know through DMs or anything else. I believe I sent every moment out that I was supposed to go and send out. But if I don't, they are always in the account. I generally just do not move them. So, damn, typo got me. Rusty K, I'm sorry. Waximus, I got it. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, I see. Okay, Waximus is saying that Lakers, Celtics, and Nugs. And then he's adding on the 76ers on top of that. All right, Waximus, I'm a nice guy. On stream, I do this too. All right, I'll give you one too. All right?
Wow.
Tell me what you're...
Wow, look at that.
I've seen him on the streets, so it's all good. Damn typo got me. I'm sorry, guys.
At that. There we go. All right, we're coming up on the top of the show here. We'd be remiss if we did not at least open up one redemption pack here. This is the first redemption pack that I'm open. I did go ahead. I secured 5 of each of them. We're going to open up a 3-pointer here, which has, I think, 3 redemptions and 7 regular Top Shot moments. So we're going to go ahead, open up this pack, and then shut down the stream for this evening. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Thanks, Dream, for being a guest. We'll do a little, give you a chance to say your piece after we open up this pack before we shut it down.
Of course. This is about everybody else here in the crowd, so let's go and open this up. I heard the music is a banger.
All right.
Sounds to me like a championship. Oh, dude. Okay, well, I'm going to have to go and fix that.
There we go.
This is what it seems like to me. Champions path, baby. Wait. There we are. I'm from Shaq and Wade. From a fellow Top Shot community member too. So I still have no idea, who they are, like doxed, but sent me one day, and gonna have to bring it here on stream. Let's go.
All right, here we go. Ripping some packs here. I don't know how I can tell which one is a redemption or not, but we're just gonna go through and rip some stuff. We got a Rudy Gobert block to kick things off. What a weird end to the season with all the T-Wolves stuff, man. Like, just so bizarre.
Did you see last night with what's his face? Kyle Anderson, slow-mo. So last night he gets it, like he basically loses the game for his team. He gets into another technical foul. So yeah, it's really weird, but I'm not going to blame Gobert right now. He's got the eyes because of the whole mask thing or whatever it was before. Kyle Anderson, don't know.
What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
He seemed like kind of a dick. I don't know.
Christian Wood block. We'll kind of power through some of these quickly. Brooke Lopez, 3-pointer. Check this one out. From deep.
Man, Brooke he's something else, man.
He is. He's a nice, solid player.
The Bucks without him are a way different team. He makes the Bucks what they are, and he gets paid like a third of what he should be getting paid.
Kevin Looney dunk. I believe you mentioned, you gave him a little shout out during the show.
Kevon Looney if there's gonna be any way for the Warriors to get out of this, Kevon Looney, he has to be a big part of every round from now on. He is so integral, especially with what he did against Sabonis last night. Sabonis was scared. I'm sorry, I'm wearing this Kings jersey, I know, but it's not a Sabonis jersey. It's a Jason Williams jersey. We're going way back to the different eras. Sabonis, straight up, he was scared. He did not want to go into him. He got into it. Just Sabonis has to be better. But we'll get there.
Redemption. Sixers redemption. My first redemption is for my Sixers. It's the wild card. Okay. So it's not the Embiid or the Harden, but it's a wild card. So that could be a variety of different players from the Sixers kind of supporting cast. But that's exciting for me. Little Sixers wild card action to start it off. Gives me some more interest to be watching these games now and think about what this wild card could potentially turn into for each of the rounds.
Well, man, anytime you ever want to hop onto the stream and, see what it's about, then we got you,
Absolutely.
And for anybody who I miss here in the chat, I see some people that said, oh, you forgot me, you forgot me, you forgot me. Trust me, we have plenty of moments that we give away all the time on stream, multiple times. Those who are here in the crowd know that already. So if it's okay, I'm going to drop our Discord link just so you guys can be up to date if you guys do want to go and join it. Yeah, thank you for being an amazing crowd. So yeah, everything that we do will be here. Paul Reed incoming.
Hey, there we go. B-ball Paul.
He is a guy to keep an eye on. Oh my God, I got thoughts on Paul Reed.
He can score the basketball. He can score the basketball. There's no doubt.
You know what he does? He defends guards. Like, he is so mobile. Like, he moves around screens like second to none. He is awesome.
Oh, now we got the James Harden redemption. Let's go.
What? Yo.
Let's go. Okay. Back-to-back Sixers. Influencer
Yo, the
packs.
fix is in, guys. This is so rigged.
Influencer packs are in the mix. We got 2 Sixers redemptions out of our 3.
Awesome. Yeah, Waximus, you got your moment right now. So shout outs to you and anybody else who, I don't know, just send me anything and we'll work it out. But yes, that is awesome.
Oh, nice low serial here. Serial 166, Bradley Beal layup. All right. Always good to get a triple-digit serial.
Of course.
2 more to go. One of which is a redemption, I believe. Another triple-digit serial. Oh, Klay Thompson redemption. All right.
Yo, you got a fire
action. This is a pretty good pack, I feel like.
This is a good pack. Pack.
I feel pretty good about this. And then we got our final one here. Jalen Brunson jump shot. All right. This is a good pack. That was fun. It's been a while since I'd opened up a Top Shot pack, but this is I'm feeling good. I feel like that was $29 well spent, regardless of what happens from here. That was a ton of fun.
Do serial redemptions matter for redemptions at all? Okay. Well, you can send them on the secondary, I believe. So if you can sell them on the secondary, then for me, what serial numbers are, and for me, I still collect them. Like, if I have to pay an extra $1 or $2 for them, it just ships from like before. I used to pay an extra $3 or $4 for them in the past. I'm a big serial number hog. I still believe in them. I think at some point when the NBA fans sort of chip away from the pie, and today we're seeing the first time the Top Shot has actually been I guess, tweeted by the NBA, themselves. And so I do think that in some way, shape, or form, they will matter at some point, but that's more of a speculative. I have nothing to give you as to why that'll happen besides my own optimism. But in terms of actual secondary marketplace utility, you're at the top. If you got to sell everything tomorrow, the lower serial number you have, it's right there at the top. So it's liquidity, quick liquidity, right? In a way
Agreed.
that puts you above offers. And offers are so broken right now that people don't even engage with them as much as they should, because that should have been something that Top Shot really focused on this season, I think. Because, oh my God, if I could just go and accept offers, move offers, and not have to wait an hour to go and do that, then that creates a lot of liquidity in the market too. So you have a small bit of period of time before they actually do that kind of thing. And yeah, have a low serial number and sell it on the marketplace in the secondary for more than you probably get on an offer. So that's sort of where the math makes sense to me, to pay above $1 or $2. And so that way, if you do have to quickly exit that moment that you might want to actually collect, but you need to get rid of for whatever reason to collect something better, that is where that lower serial utility sort of comes in. So that is where I see it from a secondary marketplace perspective. Great question.
And that'll do it for
Yep.
this afternoon show.
Get you in on
Great
golf.
show. Thanks everyone for joining. Dream, final words for the people. Where can they find you? Plug all your things, and then we'll go ahead and hit the outro.
Of course. So we are always going to be on playback. If you think NBA, think NBA on B2B. That is our network. We will have people on all the time. We have been putting together a pretty hard promotional sort of package here for people that want to watch the game, watch the games themselves, be rewarded in real time as we watch them together. That is our main mantra. I'm not going to distract you guys. If you want to find us, we can also be there on Twitter too, which has a ton of our socials. That'll be the last one that I sort of plug inside here. But beyond that, it's just playback B2B. It is this. I believe I posted our Discord in there at some point. I guess I should just drop that anyway, just in case, one last time. That is really our central comms for everything. So last but not least, that would be the three of them. And if you guys want to join us, cool. And if not, we'll see you in the secondary as we go and snipe away your moments.
There we go. Thanks everyone for joining. We'll be back in literally 2 minutes talking some PGA Tour. If anybody wants to stick around and hang out. In the meantime, make sure you go ahead, enter your playoff hoops lineup before 7:30 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Week 1 locks this evening. And thanks for this episode of Own the Moment, and enjoy the NBA playoffs. We'll talk to you all very soon.